Welcome to the stream. I know it's a bit early, but well, a bit earlier than normal, probably about a whole 2 hours early. To be honest, I'm not feeling 100% today. I'm a little bit more tired and probably coming down with something. So we're going to have a nice casual stream today. We're going to have it where we're just going to have the illustration going on the iPad and no camera. Um, and yes, just a nice casual stream. If anybody's got any questions, then feel free to join in with them. If not, I will start work on our Ashley Barton Spider-Woman piece to continue with the illustration, and I'll say hi to people as they appear. Hello, Omen. How's it going? Glad you can join us. Just saying, I know it's a bit earlier than normal, but I'm planning to finish this one off for this illustration today, so I've started a bit earlier. Unless I've swapped things around, and Monday is going to be a video. How are you, by the way? Hopefully you're having a good day. Hey, Matthew, how's it going? I'm probably going to throw a lot of people off today because I'm so much earlier than normal with this stream. But you know, we shall see what happens. I thought I'd stream a bit earlier because I'm not planning a super late night tonight. Hey, Venomized Toothless, long time no see. How's it going? You're doing good, but you can't stay very long since you're in summer school. That's not a problem, Omen. Just drop in and out as you can. Or just have just lurk in the background. It's all cool. It's not a problem. I do appreciate you showing up. Yes, I've got no camera today because I'm feeling a bit under the weather and I'm a bit sniffly, and I don't think you guys want to see that on camera. Hey, Tegan. But since I've said I will do the live stream, I thought if I start a bit earlier, we can get most of this illustration kind of worked on and done, and we can make this an epic piece. If you guys haven't seen, actually, that's point. Who's seen the short that went out today with the moniker reveal for the illustration that I've been working on for quite a few hours over the last week or so? And if you did, what did you think of it? It's probably my most detailed piece yet, as a few people have mentioned. You're working on an upgrade form of Rackstar with even more lore. Wow. Can it actually get more lore? And is it possible to upgrade Rackstar even more? Well, I suppose it probably is, because, potentially upgrade everything infinitely, or to like an insane degree. It's quite weird because I've been doing my line weight on a differently on another piece. It's getting back to the line weight I've been doing on this illustration. It's taking a little bit of getting used to. Hey Ben, how's it doing? Yes, I know Ben. There's no camera today. This will be like the pop-up for any alerts in the black box. I'm a bit sniffly and under the weather, so I thought I'll save all of you from seeing me with a bit of a rundown look, and we'll just have a nice, simple, relaxed stream. That's not a problem at all, Omen. Is your even more powerful version of Arachnostar supposed to be in the SCP redraw or a future redraw you're doing it for if it fits? Because the deadline for the SCP one is in about 4, 5 hours. Ah, Venomized Toothless, nice. Working on a spider sonar design or redesign. That's quite cool. I do need to do a spider sonar at some point. I have not done one yet. To be honest, I'm being a bit picky. I don't really know what I want to do for my spider sonar. I'm hoping it's not a xenomorph heat blast because it's been quite hot the last few weeks, and I prefer it to stay nice and cool. so let's see what we've got here. Future redraw with also an upgraded version of Star, also in the future with awesome model. Awesome. Yes, I've done I've got an idea for this redraw, how to tie it in with previous episodes, which will be quite cool. And then we've just got to see what happens from that point forwards. Hopefully it'll be quite cool and you guys will like it. Hopefully, well, we'll just see what happens. If you guys do want in a little bit, I can show you the Demonica Darkstorm that I did. It's insane. Let's see, maybe you could do a redraw theme of subscribers draw their own superheroes and villains, you turn them into SCPs. That could be a potential one in the future. I have got something similar to that written down as a potential redraw. Not planned in yet. Mostly next month's the 1 year since I started doing redraws, so we will see what happens for the theme for that one. I had it all planned out, and I don't know. I had it planned out. I kind of know what I want to do for the theme, but at the same time, I'm like, is that a good idea? We'll see. It will be interesting. And then I've kind of wiped out the last August, September, October, November, the next 5 months, and I need to replan them in. I've got all the redraws listed down. I just haven't actually sorted it properly. Ha 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 ha. That's point. You guys can hear me okay, can't you? Just so I double check that there's no sound and no one said anything. There is no music. It's just literally a chilled stream with some drawing and taking it from there, really. Although I do think this might be the last one that we do on this illustration on a live stream. If we're going to add more characters and do it in another, maybe in off screen for a couple. And turn your profile pictures into SCPs. That could be quite interesting, although everyone's a little bit shorter. However, I can see you've got what looks like a, I would say Kakashi, but I'm not entirely sure. I think it's Kakashi. Yours, Venomized Toothless. That's what it looks like anyway. I could be completely wrong. Omen, that is a very difficult question. Um, Out of all the community redraw submissions that you chose for every redraw, which would you want as a small marketable plushie? Oh, that's tough. Oh, let's think what have I drawn in the redraws? I've got to think about all the things I've drawn in the redraws. Ooh, that is tough. Hmm, let me think. Um, I think. Oh, I don't know. There's too many to choose from. Owen, you've given me a really difficult question to answer there. Hmm. Um, Let me think. What would I prefer from the redraws? I guess uh, we've got the bio dinosaur from the redraw where Death of a Hero, where um, Aaronfold and Nick Aaronfold got fried by it. That would be quite a good one. Can't go wrong with dinosaur plushie. Uh, False is probably in there with the one that I redesigned. I quite liked it, but I think it make a good plushie design. The redesign that the tweak that I did. Um, what other ones have we got? I don't know. We've got quite a few. It's really difficult to pick. Excuse me, guys. That came out of nowhere. Hopefully, I haven't deafened you all. I do apologise for sneezing out the blue. If any of you jumped with your headsets in, I do apologise. It's weird. I've been really fine. I don't think it's hay fever, um, because we've had all the heat in there, and I didn't seem to be sneezy. But just today, it seems to have like hit me now that I've slowed down slightly. It's always the way, isn't it? Always when you've got plans to do something as well. Plans this weekend, and it's like, yeah, going out tomorrow night. Yeah, but he goes, no, we don't want you to do that. Enjoy. The Xenomorph Queen won't fit here unless we shrunk her down to minuscule size. But that's not a bad idea. I do need to do a Xenomorph episode actually. Not sure if I'll have a narrator for that or not. Got got a few things to work on. French Revolution. So surprisingly hard to actually draw. Well, yeah, I do know that, Ben. But the thing is, if even if I do one, if I do make a uh sci-fi narrator, then it's going to be nothing like it's a mercenary like that or anything. It's going to be something quite interesting. Hopefully. I mean, this is the problem. This is one problem that I've got at the moment is I'm happy to do the narrators and I'm happy to come up with them as possible and try the accents. I'm terrible at them. But at the same time, it's also I know they've got to be different, but sometimes you can't do them quite so different. And then people are like, oh, well, we saw that here first. You're just copying that because they've had that video out for a while. It's like, well, yeah, I've seen it. It's inspired it. But, you know, there's only so much you can do. There's only so many accents or characters you can do in the world. But I've got an idea uh for it mainly, which could be quite interesting. Hey, Minecraft, how's it doing? Venomized Super says, hardest things to draw: hands, matching eyes, lips, feet. Which is the hardest for you? Um, I would say all of them. I need a reference 9 times out of 10 for hands. Definitely matching eyes, or you can see they're not even matching on this currently, even with the angle that I've got. So that's always fun. Um, yeah, anything's really difficult to. I mean, I know I'm doing a cartoony style, so I'm not worried about it being 100% perfect as such. Don't get me wrong, I want these to be looking cool, At the same time, just trying to add these bits in. Yeah, I mean, anything I earn from YouTube, Ben, it's not a bad idea. I am trying to look into voice changes that might help for the narrators, which would be quite cool. Um, then I can just talk normally and tweak the voice. Would be really, really cool. I haven't found a decent one yet, and I haven't been able to make a decent voice changer through the software I use. But I am trying to save up for things for the channel. So anything that gets tipped or earned on the channel from watch time that now monetized is going into a fund, and then eventually over time I'll save up enough over time, very, very long way over time. And then it's going to be it's going to then be kind of like expanded upon and come back into the community to you guys. But currently it's at the point where as much as I'd love to be able to just buy all these things, um, there's thresholds that you've got to meet before you can take any money anywhere, before it transfers money out and before you can put money anywhere. So until I meet these thresholds, um, it's there, but it's not there. Glad you're doing good, Minecraft Transformers. Yeah, Venomized Supers, all of them, literally. It's everything. I find things very difficult to do 9 times out of 10. And the longer you spend working on it, don't be afraid to erase it and keep trying again and again and practice the bits that you can't do very well. I will be practicing the hands and stuff and possibly making a couple live streams or a couple videos of like my drawing hand process, drawing hands. So you can just watch how I do it from tutorials, and I'll try and explain a bit along the way maybe, or make some shorts. But yeah, it's not easy. So are you going to make a video that has the narrators currently in the mermaid universe escape that place and also switch back to their bodies? Yes, Ben, I am. I was hoping to have that done before this redraw by the end of the month, but we hit the multiverse story arc, and that's taking precedent because we hit 2.5k subscribers, which is an awesome achievement. And since we've hit that, then I promised a video, and that's in production. Who would win in a fight, Omen Star or Arachnostar? Oh, it'll be a tie. Yes, Allen Animations. It did start earlier, 2 hours earlier. Um, as I mentioned earlier, I am feeling a bit under the weather, but I did promise a stream and to continue this. So while it's nice and light and not super late, I will continue this illustration and we'll see where we get to. Um, I have to work on the uh, Venomized Dinobots over the weekend for Monday because that's the multiple story arc episode coming back. Hopefully, I won't be too sniffly and poorly by then to actually record the lore. Otherwise, I may have to shift the days that things happen. Oh, you saw the digital painting of the Monica Darkstorm? Yeah, that's not even finished yet. I mean, you've got an example of her under this black box here, um, just showing it off a little bit, but that's not even finished. That's where I got to when I did the kind of like the reveal. There are a few small bits of detail that I need to add to this and a few finishing bits afterwards to make this really kind of like pop even more. But yeah, that's I just started drawing the other night and decided I wanted to practice a pose, practice the painting style, but I wanted a picture that I kind of was simple in a sense, what was designed and what I knew. And I just started drawing my Demonica character, Demonica Darkstorm, and I think it came out absolutely insane. Watching if one of the time lapse comes out, it's going to be absolutely insane. What's that? Turn Xenomorphs, a Xenomorph video maybe turn into Nautical Leviathans in the Xenomorphs. That could be quite interesting. Um, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with Xenomorphs when I get around to doing them. I mean, I know I have mentioned them for a while, but it's also like I say, it's branching on stuff and finding stuff that not only you guys will enjoy, but I'll enjoy creating lore and doing the video about and the artwork. If it's not some or concept that's going to be like, I'm going to enjoy doing it, and I think you guys are going to enjoy watching it, then the chances of it actually getting done are slim, unless it's a case of, I'm not too sure, but we'll try this out. It's often why I do community polls from time to time because we obviously want to get your input back so that we know, or so that I know, you guys are enjoying the content on the channel. And I'm hoping I'm doing a shorts challenge where I'm uh, releasing a short a day up until Monday. So Monday will be the last day of doing it. I think it was 2 weeks worth of shorts. Um, that's gonna be quite interesting. Yeah, the problem there, Ben, is he's saying he's going to do a Sea Monster video for years, and then he finally gets around to it a couple of years later. There's that much content on the channel. It's getting it right. I mean, we've got series like the Multiverse Story Arc that we've had on the channel, and it just stopped because we got to a certain point, and then we started. There's so many cool ideas to do stuff, so we started branching off into that, and they're doing really well. But then we lost track of doing what we originally had on the channel for the OG subscribers and stuff. And that Multiverse Story Arc isn't even finished. It needs to come back, and we need to continue with the illustrations for it. And even though they're obviously the more illustrations I do in a video, the compared to like the Optimus Prime quality of it being venomized, the quality is going to go down slightly because of the time constraints. That's just not, that's something I can't avoid. If I was doing a full 9 to 5 day job of YouTube, I could easily make sure that all of them were an amazing quality. But that's again dependent on paying the bills, which is kind of a priority above all else. But one day we will get there. We'll get to the point where we can have it all. That's not a problem, Ben. But I also feel that I can't leave a series that had 22 episodes on the channel over 2 years. That's how many episodes. There's a 3 hour compilation of it. I can't leave it at the point of Soundwave versus Grimlock, Grimlock getting venomized by Prime at the end, and then we don't actually know the rest of what's happening. I don't feel right leaving that story. I've been wanting to come back to it for a while and just been caught up with everything else. Um, Splatfest one was quite a good one, and I will be continuing with more weird variety episodes like that a bit later on. Excuse me a second, guys. Yeah, I haven't put the symbiote on it yet. I wanted to get the main bits of it done. I know we're venomizing it. Um, I want to get the main line art done. I'm going to shrink it down, and then I'm going to put another layer on top uh, for it, just because there's quite a few. I know it's simple, but there's quite a few elements on this I wanted to clear up from the pencil drawing. But yes, we are venomizing her, and it will be happening shortly. I just wanted to work my way through some of the elements on this a bit more as I was talking. Think of it as an extra rough sketch that I haven't done on the others because my line weight pressure is a bit all over the place today, currently, and I wasn't happy with how her face was looking. But yeah. So, what plans have everybody got for the weekend? Are you doing anything fun and interesting, or is it just a case of watch the stream, chill out, and have some fun. You know what, I'm going to put the venomized symbiote on this side this time. Oh, you got a graduation party to go to. That's awesome. Congrats to your cousin. And yeah, maybe in the future I might do a few of my narratives with stuff. It depends. I am planning to do something fun and funky with the narrators in the future. It's just a case of getting that sorted. Could be quite interesting actually. Line weights all over the place tonight. This is, and that's not the end of the world on this, but it's kind of kind of getting to me a little bit. It's fine. So, who's everyone's favorite version of Spider-Man? Do you like the original G character, the original Peter Parker that came out a long time ago, or Miles Morales, or Spider-Gwen, or even Gwenom? I think hair's another thing I find difficult to draw, actually, thinking about it. It can be quite complex to draw hair at times. It's more the rendering of hair than drawing it. So I can draw hairstyles not too bad, depending on the hairstyle, and with a reference, obviously, because yeah. But when it comes to the actual other part of hair, like coloring it in with the lights and the shadows and stuff, I know what I want to achieve. I can never seem to achieve it, which can sometimes be infuriating at times, I think. Trying to achieve something, and not being able to get there just because of no reason other than it just doesn't work. Even sometimes copying techniques, it just does not seem to work. Um, Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm just looking for something that I can't. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's where they are. Ugh. one of those moments where just need to pick up some supplies and sort one or two things, and it's like couldn't remember where I left it all. Oh, cool. I'm back at the desk. Possibly then. For Cinemorph's as a suggestion, backroom entities is not a bad idea. Definitely one that's got potential. I think I need to do my research in backroom entities. I do know about the backrooms, I just don't know them well enough. That being said, it does seem to be a popular topic along with SCPs, so it could be one that's branched into. Venomizing. So much fun. Sorry, I'm just making up my little song here as I'm doing the wisps of venomized type hair. Let's see. Let's continue this. I mean, I will only go till we finish this illustration. And I've only been doing like one illustration on this a stream, but I think by the time I finish this, I will probably be needing to call it a night on this illustration and rest up so I can finish the video for Monday. Worst case scenario, Monday's video will end up on Tuesday. Um, I'm just hoping whatever I'm feeling rough with at the moment, it's just like a 24-hour thing or just weather related. Maybe it is hay fever, maybe the pollen count was high today and I just didn't know it. I don't normally suffer from that, but you know, there's always a possibility that that could be what's affecting me today. It could be I've literally just come down with a cold, which is all good fun. Probably from the change in weather from being super hot here in the UK to be raining and super hot again, and that don't always bode well for everyone when it does that. Oh, that's a point. I know Cross has done the Spider-Man villains as Spider-Man and Batman villains as Batman, and you know, I was thinking of Flash villains as the Flash, which would be quite interesting, as speedsters. But what other series could we possibly do as villain Marvel, so like villains as these? Because we can't do like maybe Avenger villains as Avengers. That'd be quite interesting. But they kind of already got their own villains that are like them. Um, it makes that hard. Maybe I should fuse Marvel and Dragon Ball characters together, like the villains with the heroes. Just thinking of random ideas out there on future videos. I will still be doing the multiverse story arc first, and I will still be sorting out the community redraw as their next priorities, and then picking it up from there. Although I do appreciate I am like miles earlier on the stream today, so if people do drop in, great. If they miss it and they've got to watch the stream later, I will apologize now if you watch this bit. I appreciate normally it's later viewing, but a bit earlier, I'm doing it when I can actually have the energy to do the stream properly and that, and interact with everybody, rather than being like a zombie on the stream, which you never know, might happen more. Zombie. Ha ha ha. Um, yeah, I am also going to be looking through and seeing what series are doing well on the channel, what aren't. I feel, I don't know how to say it. I feel the quality of the videos are good on YouTube, that we do. But it feels like it's lacking something for everybody to get behind it. And I don't know what that is. There are some suggestions too, Ben. The Superman villains one I was thinking of, but Lex Luthor as a Superman would be really random. Could be quite interesting actually to do that one. That could be a super interesting one actually. I'll have to think about that one. I've got a few possible ideas on how to do that. Just got to see what happens with it. I like the idea of giving her the original Spider-Man's black Spider-Man suit web shooter on her arm, even though she's like this. Don't know why. I just feel it's kind of fitting, and then making her hand more slender. Except for that part of her thumb, which looks massive. No, I'll fix that later. That's just kind of looking a bit odd. All my brushes are set for the other illustration I did. And if you guys want to see it, if you haven't seen it already, I'm happy to, jump over to it in a little bit. Just let me know in the chat if you want to see the actual version on screen, because it's a bit better than what the short has. Also, do you guys, what other artists do you watch on YouTube other than Popcross? I mean, I watched Jazzy, his Pokemon card thing that he did was absolutely insane. I don't have all the supplies to do that, but his part one of his Pokemon, Epic Pokemon Card Stadium, that's actually a giant Pokemon card in the stadium. That looked quite cool earlier. Natrix. I don't think I know that person. I'll have to have a look, Omen. I mean, I watched a few other artists, and um some are doing the kind of the shorts with the you know, do a certain way of shorts and stuff with traditional materials, and they are kind of cool. I just basically I'm trying to think of content and stuff that I can do that you guys will like and others might like to try and promote the channel a bit more. It'd be nice to see the community grow again. It's been a little while since we had like a massive burst of fresh blood into the community. And where I love everybody who joins the streams, is on the Discord. You're all fantastic and amazing. It'll be quite cool to get some new faces and new ideas and new kind of like people that might do the community redraw on that. Add a bit more variety. That being said, on that note, I probably need to figure out what I need to do to get that to work. which is easier said than done. I've watched about four of them, Ben. I've watched Subjectively, True Green, SCP Explained, Caitlin I can't say her surname, but Caitlin. Um, I have also watched one recently, which he doesn't post very often. It's JR's Junk Drawer, and it's another artist who's severely underrated on YouTube. They've got about 1,000 odd subscribers, and they inspired me kind of to do my the Monica illustration to that level. They can spend 40 plus to 60 hours in illustration, and when you watch back and you see the final product, it's amazing on some of them. But my favorite one is the latest video. It's a bleach illustration, and they nailed it. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. So feel free to check them out at some point. It's kind of tricky figuring out where the symbiote's going to go on some of these. You're upgrading false as well, Omen. That's going to be interesting, and I'm very excited to see the outcome of that. Ben, you're subscribed to 149 channels. Nice. I've got no idea how many I'm subscribed to actually. Suppose I could find out somehow. Um, how would I find out? How would you find out how many channels you're subscribed to? Sorry, guys. I tried to get this on the mic in time before that sneeze and cough. If I've just deafened a lot of you, I really do apologize. That was not my intention. Subscriptions. Um, I've got 156 subscriptions, which is quite intriguing. Quite cool too. Oh, don't you guys just hate it when you come down with a bug or something out of nowhere and you're like, one day you're fine, and then halfway through the day you're like, oh my God, what's hit me? Because that's kind of how I feel right now, if I'm completely honest. It sucks. Not the end of the world, but it's right. So if I'm doing this bit here has to be drawn onto this symbol. Got to make sure this kind of ties in correctly. everything. Hey, Justin. Earlier than normal, I like. Yes, there's no camera today because I'm full of sniffles and colds, but other than that, we are doing good. And yeah, because I'm full of sniffles and colds, I instead of being up till like 1 o'clock in the morning when I've got a lot on this weekend, I'm gonna need some rest. Um, I decided to start shooting a bit earlier and start working on this so that I can basically do some justice to this illustration while I got a chance to. How are you, Justin, anyway? All good, I hope. For future video, maybe you could turn Ben 10 villains into Ben 10, like Dot Anime Ghost Freak, Kevin 11. Yeah, Kevin 11's kind of a tricky one because he's technically already been Ben 10. I'd have to figure out how to redesign him as Ben 10. Um, but that one's gonna be quite interesting. Yes, I know she's been given that name, Spider Bee. We're working on Ashley Barton, the Spider Woman from Earth 80712, blah 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 blah, because it's a long number. So yes, we are working on her. We're venomizing her for this illustration. Um, we will finish on this one. So once this illustration's done, or I get as far as I can get, before I have to, call it a day on this illustration, we'll get as far as we can do, and then we will probably pick this up off stream. I'll probably finish this off, and then we can see what happens with the other stuff later on. Hey, Koi Fish Gaming, how's it going? You've had two good things and one bad things happen to you in Pokemon. Oh dear. Hopefully they're not too bad. Yeah, I'm not too bad, Koi. Got a bit of sniffles today. A little bit this afternoon. I ended up with having a nap after I finished work for a bit, and then I woke up and I'd just been feeling a bit sniffly and yeah, I think a bug's either gotten to me or it's high hay fever, and with all this heat in the UK and then the rain and then the heat again, it's probably kicked kick-started it or triggered something. I don't normally suffer from hay fever, but obviously the pollen count's high, everybody's going to get it. So I'm a bit sniffly, so the stream's the camera's off on the stream so that I can save you all from seeing my rundown, poorly looking me. That'll scare everybody away. Um, you got two shrines out of it. Nice. Did I see the direct? Direct? You have to be a little bit more specific than that, Justin. If it's a direct message in Discord, I've seen plenty of them in the last few days from a lot of people. So, uh, which one? If you're on about from after the last stream, I did have a brief look, so I think I did see what you're on about. Um, I will jump back into Discord and have a look at some point. Uh, Nintendo's Direct. Oh, I think so. Are you on about the new Mario RGP that revamp that's coming out? Because Koi certainly saw it. That's what you're on about. Oh, I've done that wrong. Haha. I wondered why that looked a bit odd. That's why that looks a bit odd. Oh, on the plus side, I saw where I went wrong, and I'm now correcting the issue. Mario as an elephant. Oh, I didn't see the Pokemon DLC alert. I'll have to go back and have a look unless you want to let us know the news. And they actually got a release date for this now. Okay, so if I turn that let off, just double check I've closed a lot of these lines. Actually, that's not too bad. There are a few lines to close in a couple of spots, but not really as many as I thought. Aha! Well, I know what to write over there. Uh, it, cool, that's looking a bit better. Imagine Luke's from Super Mario RGB venomized. Ha, that could be quite cool. Possibly, Ben. I do want to do some more fusion episodes. We'll see what happens on that one. Turn Mario characters into SCP, so that'd be quite a cool one. SCP stands for Secure, Contain, and Protect, and it's a secret organization that take anomalous entities or things that do strange and bizarre things that defy the laws of physics or dimension realms, and they try and contain them, and they'll class them as safe, Euclid, which is contained, not really safe, or can be safe but contained. Keter, which is like world destroying, and then a few ones above that. So basically, it's like think Men in Black, but without all the fancy alien tech all the time. Um, it's probably the best way to describe it, if I'm honest with you, Koi. Hopefully that has helped. If it hasn't, I'm sorry. That's the best I can do, other than sending you a link at some point on Discord. Right, red color. Oh, I've only been going an hour. Seems longer. Probably because the light's kind of fading away a bit. Well, they try to keep them out of the people's view, but they don't always succeed. In fact, there's even one SCP, I think it's SCP-2000, that if the world does end, it's in an underground bunker. It can reclone the entire human race with memories up to the point it got shortly before it got wiped out, so you don't remember it. And it's got all the resources to rebuild the world from the ground up. No, nothing is off limits. They've got other dimensions. They've got stuff that makes your teeth grow. They've got a straight jacket that whatever your um, mental worries and concerns are that afflict your mind the whole time, it makes you forget about them for a while. Then, like an hour in, it'll make you physically manifest them, or those changes happen. So it's like, yeah, they've got loads of stuff. I'll have to run it all by you at some point, Corey. Realize I got nice spidey blue. Yeah, okay. Hey America, how's it doing? Glad to have America in the stream again. I'm never going to get bored of saying that. Hope you're good. I've started the stream a bit early, than normal. So apologies if you're expecting a later stream today, but as I said a couple of times on the stream, you might not caught it. I'm not feeling my 100% best, but I have promised a stream and I wanted to do some drawing. So I thought we could have a little stream, do a bit of drawing, have a little chat and hang out, and then yeah, just progress this illustration a bit more. I will in a bit, actually, I'll do it in a minute. Just for those who might not have seen the short yet, there will be the full time lapse of this happening, but I will show you the time lapse now. So if I go back to the gallery, this is unfinished yet. This is my Demonica Darkstorm illustration that is not finished. Um, so there's still more to do, but if I show you the time lapse replay, I'm going to turn this into an actual speed paint video. But basically, this time lapse went for everything from initial sketch to planning out roughly the values of the kind of like the shadows where I want them to be, to then refining the pencil kind of like sketch lines to be neater, which I do. So I find them. Then I dropped in the flats, but as more like values. So I wanted to drop in to select them as different areas. Then I added the flat colors, and then I started adding more of the values, so the lighting and the shading, roughly what I wanted as a starting point. I drop the colors on a multiply layer over the top, so I've got them, and then I just start working on building it up from there. And I mean, like, really building this illustration up and working through it. And this just took ages. I apologize for the white flashing bit on there. Um, I needed to convey. I even tried a flowery background round to which, even though it looked quite cool, I don't think it had the same effect. I was trying to make like a more energy feel, and that'd be quite cool, but I couldn't get the colors right. And in the end, I kind of came up with a lightning effect. And then after a lot of trial and error with the lights around and that, I kind of got a nice effect around the background. And then that's what we ended up with. So that's got 13 minutes already on the video bit. But this was like a rather cool illustration, which is quite cool, that I've done. And for anybody interested, so far, it's not finished. It's taken a total of 14 hours with almost a 2 GB file and over 21,000 brushstrokes. It's absolutely insane, but I'm so proud of it. Like little flex there. So yeah, so I may do a couple more of them over time as personal projects. Uh, yes, I've got allergies today. Allergies, cold, sniffles, whichever you want to call it. I'm not 100% today, so I'm very happily off camera just doing the stream. Dice, you should be proud. Yeah, I tell you what, it's weird because if I kind of wish I was recording the entire process I don't even with 265 gigabytes of RAM on my on the iPad. Sorry, 256 gigabyte hard drive. I'm half concerned that 14 hours wouldn't store. It would take up all the space, and I'm like, imagine me trying to edit down a 14 plus hour video to music so you guys can see it and it works and it looks nice and it works well. It's like I'd have to speed it up for the speed paint anyway. So a time lapse of that, I'll see how that does. But the short, I did a nice little reveal for it. I don't know how well it's doing. I don't think it's got much traction at the moment. It's a bit hit and miss with shorts on traction time of day. But yeah, I'm so proud of that one. So that will become an actual video on the channel. I may put some pointers in on things I've done at certain points, but I just follow the same principles that I always do. Isolated areas, worked on the flats, worked on the lighting on a different layer, used the layers wisely, and then just try to picture what was on the foreground and the background with an idea of lighting around it. Uh, Dempsey, if you do a third video of superheroes as SCP, like Hulk, Spawn, Red Riot, and well, this is a villain, but the spot. Um, I did SCPs with superheroes, but superheroes as SCPs could be an interesting one. Oh no, wait, I did do superheroes as SCPs, didn't I? I've done both because I did the Dark Cow, which is the Batman one, and Superman's like a, a meteor rock that sticks to his chest and creates the S. Um, those are some good ideas. I need to think of one for the Hulk though. The Hulk will have a rather unique SCP lore. I'm I'm betting it would be a bit more interesting. I mean, basically, the Hulk's born from a nuclear explosion, so maybe the Hulk can take over other people, and if the Hulk dies, it causes a nuclear explosion and goes off. Kind of like that wandering old man SCP that if he's in a place for too long, he sees three brothers. The second old man appears, and then the third one, you never see it, but it destroys the area. That'd be quite interesting. Um, have you seen the 2020 videos of Spenders and Gross stuff? I was stuck in a server with that. Does anybody have Bleach? Bleach? No, but I'm sure we can find you a flamethrower, potentially. Um, I have to say I haven't. I might be quite lucky there. Cool, so that's going to work for what I want here to work my way around the outline on this. The direction of the flamethrowers. Um, I'm not allowed to do that. It's against YouTube policy. Uh, no, I'm sure you'll be fine. I think it's just yeah, just get out of those servers and get away from it all where you can, and then replace it with happy things. Yeah, maybe not server hop. Um, Maybe try and find a decent server and stick to it. Yeah, it sounds like there could be a bit of a problem with the server hopping. Yeah, I know where you're getting with that, Ben. If you make Bruce Banner a former SCP researcher like Dr. Bright, then you can turn his whole persona into an SCP. But I have a an alternate idea for that. If I'm going to do it, it'll be quite interesting to tweak the story for it. Um, it's not a bad idea having him as a Foundation SCP, but I think I might combine the two story ideas that I've got. Just because it'll be a bit more funky. America's got an idea. Drop the idea in the chat. I'm happy to read the ideas out, and nothing's a bad idea. Well, within reason. Nothing's really a bad idea. I'm just I take it all into consideration. They do spawn a lot of good ideas later on. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Obviously, I'm dropping this down behind the other two, so it's going to be here to look a bit more cleaner. YouTubers at SCPs. That's a potential idea. I'll have to pick the YouTubers carefully. So I would probably have to put a poll out, find out what they say about it, and have that done. I mean, I have done Popcross as a phobia dragon, which was quite cool. It got suggested, and I thought it was really funny, so I did it. I'm not gonna lie, I saw it and I laughed, and when I laughed, I thought, yeah, and I think Popcross found it quite funny as well, which is really nice. Um, but yeah, well, it's a possible idea. We'd probably need a list of YouTubers to do because I'd have to check properly. The only drawback of doing YouTubers, same as doing anyone famous to a degree as SCPs or something, I can do it, but if I do YouTubers, I have to pick them carefully because certain YouTubers that are quite famous, there can be a lot of there can be a lot of controversy around those YouTubers. So it's sorting that out, but it's not a bad idea. Um, I'm back, finished watching the Pokemon episodes that just came out today. Oh, I haven't watched any of them yet. I keep meaning to, but I haven't gotten around to it. It's probably really bad of me, isn't it? Uh, but yeah. Uh, or turn YouTube artists into Pokemon. Yeah, I could make Jazzo Charizard. Um, or do Pokemon becoming anime characters. Yeah, that's probably kind of Pokemon as superheroes, but I could do them as Pokemon as anime. Uh, Ash's Pokemon is like an anime squad, like a team of 6 Pokemon. Your first one comes out as the leader. It could do Pokemon as Power Rangers or Power Rangers as Pokemon with a basis of Power Rangers and pick Pokemon that fit the Power Rangers. That'd be quite cool. Yeah, I thought that was quite good, and I think Ben, you probably would have liked the last video on the channel where we had a Nexum talking about his the mech armors to the kid, and it ended up being a case of Benny's picture coming up and like the nostalgic music and that. I am trying to get time to do a bit more sound design, so I'm trying to get a. It's a bit tricky. I'm trying to balance things out a bit more, and it's not always going to be the case where I get a bit more sound design in the videos. So by sound design, that's using sounds or combination of sounds to add more emphasis to the story, basically. So it's sound design is actually quite crucial in a lot of uh, adverts and things that you see and intros, they sell the intro trailers, and I'm trying to learn that a bit more because I think if I can nail a bit of sound design along with a few other techniques for video editing, I could probably take everything to the next level, which would be quite cool. You got to do some turning me into a Blastoise. Justin, I'm ashamed of you. Who's my favorite Pokemon? If anything, I've got to be turned into my favorite Pokemon. So come on. If you can name it, Justin, I'll forgive you. Well, Pikachu would be the Yellow Ranger. Also, I did watch a Digimon Mech Armor video. Cool. Yeah, I thought it was just appropriate to have the to have that. What did you think of the video? Did you suppose the easiest question for people is those that watched the Mech Armor video and didn't just skip through it, what did you think of the Ehrenfold joke or little comment and the kind of like the overall lore for the video with the little Benny bit coming up? I didn't want to use too much of it to start with. I just wanted to see. I need to check the reactions on that video actually, the retention rate and stuff on certain points. What if you do Back to the Future theme of Pokemons or dragons or superheroes or phobias? Possibly. So who would win? 1 gazillion lions or one of every Pokemon at full power or one Ehrenfold? Ehrenfold. What if the guy that next to him is training is a relative of Benny Sharp in that universe, but he doesn't realize it? That would be a nice plot twist, but I would have to speak to Popcross to see that it's okay to do that. That would be an interesting plot twist. Be quite interesting. It has to be the Aura Pokemon. Go on, you know the name. It is a Pokemon that uses Aura Sphere. You didn't notice the Aeronfold part. Yeah, you're halfway there, Justin. Just think which one it is. I've got a little figure and a figure of it, but it's not on screen. Ha 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 ha. But I need to draw something. Yes, you're both right, America and Justin. It is Lucario, so I'd have to be a Lucario. I couldn't be any other Pokemon. I'd refuse. You're like, nah, gotta be this. So let's have fun tweaking the eye of this one. Yeah, because Enfold slayed most of the beasties except the Inkling Murphing. Yes, that's the only one that's gotten away from him in the stories to date. Good memory. Oh, Pokemon for SCPs. Nice. I almost did a Pokemon SCPs series around the time Popcross did it. I was thinking of doing something like that. But I've also thought about Digimon as SCPs, but it's finding enough of a difference between them to make them work. I suppose we could just turn it and its abilities into it and a bit of backstory. That would be quite cool. Um, but yeah, I suppose the only downside to me doing the stream this early is I can hear the people outside. Sometimes I don't hear them, but I can hear people outside because it's still light out at the moment, about 9 o'clock. I don't think you guys can hear them unless they get really loud, but I can hear them. It's like, oh. I'll do a Lucario version and Blastoise version. Nice. Appreciate that, Justin. Thank you. So who'd win? One of every community redraw submission or Ehrenfold? Ehrenfold. Basically, at the moment, Ehrenfold would win anything because he is the Beast Slayer. Except, well, actually, no. Ehrenfold won't because the Electro Dino I did fried him when he wasn't paying attention. So that redraw submission would win. What if Ash Ketchum was a villain? What do you think about that one? Ah, if I took him as a villain, we could have so much fun making villain versions of the Pokemon, like evil Mewtwo versions. That could be quite a fun, interesting story twist thing to work on. Hmm, tempting. That is quite an interesting idea there, Ben. Or Justin, sorry. That's me getting the names mixed up. I'm sorry. Dempsey, I think I remember that Robert is using SCPs as. Is that a YouTuber? If it is, then that's quite cool. Yeah, it's hard to find something someone's not doing on YouTube nowadays. Got these. It'll be funny if Aaron Fold just beats up the next person he sees for a Happy Meal box and has a very negative. Possibly. I do have some plans for the narrators over time. I need to map out a bit more because, as I say, we haven't done much of their personal growth, and eventually, we're going to be also learning about consequences of their actions in some of the redraws. So it's not just it doesn't just bottle down to the narrators themselves that we learn about for a lesson in an episode. We may also learn about the narrators actually the consequence of their actions in a redraw, and then later on they have to face those consequences in a future video, which I think could be quite an interesting twist. If that sounds cool to you guys, because that means that we can keep the story going, we can develop the story, but we're also not tied down to the narrators having to be there every single time, in case, like in this instance, they are technically stuck in another universe as sea folk. Got a couple of white lines over, or white fill bits over where I want them to be. Sometimes you do get that with the line art. I mean, I could use a layer as a reference layer and drop it in, but I kind of like got more control this way, and it's the method I've been using the most. So it is probably the one that I'm the fastest with. But yeah. Um, who is the highest? Goku, Vegeta, Broly, Kratos, the dude from that PS3 game that kills all the birds. Broly's the strongest individual, I would have thought. Well, Broly and Kratos are probably tied. Goku and Vegeta, if they fuse, would be stronger than Broly and Kratos. I don't know who the other one is. And that's interesting, Ben. Making doppelgangers. I hadn't considered doing that. I've considered alternate versions of them, but I haven't considered a doppelganger version. That's quite interesting. Omen says we're starting a list of potential YouTubers to SCPs. The Rubber, Net, Natrix, Popcross Studios, Dead Illustrations, Koishish Gaming. Oh wait, do they have to be artists? Black Clover characters as mech armors. That could be an interesting one. I would like to change it up. Maybe Black Clover characters as uh, well, they're already mages, so maybe something that's not mage related. Black Clover SCPs.
or Black Clover characters as demon slayers. And then each of their magics could be a form of breath for their techniques. Actually, I do like the sound of that. If you could draw Erenfold and you can repl it properly, yeah, do justice to it, and do an animation of that or replace it, by all means, you have my permission to. Just send me it first before you publish it out anywhere. I want to have an early preview of it. But just mention that you're using my character in it. Credit where credit's due. Only thing. Ben says, like Nexum accounting a Spider-Man version of himself, Dinoco accounting an Omnitrix version of himself, and Demonico accounting a powerless version of herself. Oh, interesting. I forgot his name, but Bro was so angry he made 6 arms out of air and killed a demigod at full power. That was the size of the Earth after 12,000 years of slumber and forgot his memory because of one. You will protest Nexum Night Grid after the stream is over. Haha, yes, you've been trying to get Nexum to have a surname beginning with N, haven't you, for a while? I'll come up with a couple of name variations and put that in there as one, and we'll put a poll out to give Nexum a surname. I kind of like the idea of Nexum Noverse, like no universe for Nexum, like Nexum Noverse, or I don't know, maybe uh Nexum No Way Home. They made him look like a traitor because one of them wanted to become king of the gods. Oh, are you on about the Indian god? There is an Indian god in Ragnarok, the fighting anime, and they they've got 6 arms. Was it 4 arms? Next him in the food first. Nice. I'll give 30 seconds or a week tops that I can believe Nexum could unlock master control on Omnitrix. Nexum would probably unlock it by just dropping it, and it'll be dumb luck. But he'd unlock master control and then be stuck, unable to get back to his normal form. Then becomes the size of the stars and fights the final god so big he throws the universe. And no, okay, no, it's not the one I was thinking of. I guess Spider-Man India won't be in the show. Potentially there are more Spider-Man and Spider-Verse characters that could be in this, but they'll be done off stream. I've only picked. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Oh, that came out of nowhere. Okay, we're getting progress on this. Uh, it's Buddha God. Oh,
Was it Brahma, the god of creation? The one potentially.
Alright, let's just trace these as best I can right now. You got to check the video games that are out. Okay, if you can find the video game and let us know in the comments, I will check it out. I think that's a fair deal. I can't check it right this second, but right, I think the initial flats are done, bar a few bits of gradient on them. Imagine Danico's dino form mixed with Ben 10 aliens like Humongousaur, Forearm, Spider Monkey, and Rituals. I don't think it'll make much difference with Humongousaur, to be honest. It might just change the colour of him. Being a dinosaur species, it's probably going to be very similar to his form anyway. It'll override it. Uh, Now, if they're fused with it, it would be different. Luigi's Mansion 3D is getting a remake, and Peach is getting a game too. Yes. Although I have to say, I was out last weekend, and my other half's daughter on the aisle as we walked down it saw loads of tins of peaches and just started going peaches, 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 peaches. I was in stitches. It's one of those things where you have to be there, but it was really funny. Right, so let's add some of these shady bits into these. Down to the purple. Get paper. Colours. The Arkham trilogy is going to Switch. That's quite cool. What do I think of this? Anime characters as toys, and they know that they're trying to get out. When they are trapped, it's a fifth dimension deity by a fifth dimension deity. That's an interesting idea. Definitely, definitely a very interesting idea, that one. 1 second, guys. I'm going to mute a second because I think I'm going to sneeze and I don't want to deafen you all. Oh, that made me laugh, America. The only difference is you can hear me sneeze when the mic's not muted. I can't hear you sneeze. But yeah, that made me laugh. Um, Dinoclaw Ripjaws, I could probably use inspiration from the next one, Claw Merbies. Um, Possibly, but Dinoclaw Ripjaws would probably be more like a Mosasaurus if he's in his dinosaur form. Now this is going to be the hardest part. Hair. The one thing I really hate doing. It's not too bad, but it is one of my weaker fortes. Suppose I'm keeping it really simple on this, so I don't have to worry too much about the hair as such. I mean, even just doing this is probably enough for the hair to look decent. Right, that needs the purple. I got the peach song in my head now that I've said that. All I've got is it playing over my head. America says, I want to make a picture on SCP, but with no body, and you are going to have to draw an idea of what it could look like. You want to make a picture of an SCP with no body, and then you're going to have to draw what it looks like. Did you know that Ben Franklin, the dude that discovered electricity, also founded the first firefighter station back in the 1800s? I didn't know that. A xenomorph rip drawer, so that'd be quite funky. Um, we do sell Gatorade, and then we also have ginger ale. They're two separate things. Ginger ale is alcohol. Gatorade over here is like a energy drink. Imagine Nixon's version of Kingpin telling him, "It ain't always about the money, Spider-Man." Haha, nice. So I drink plenty of that. So drink plenty of that if you're sick. Um, Lupe normally, but I'm not going out to the shop at the moment. I'm indoors working on this. I'll get some tomorrow. I do like doing these illustrations, the more cartoony ones, but I really like the last one that I did, the Demonica one. So, would you guys be up for seeing more of those Demonicus type illustrations? Probably as a video after they're drawn over time. Enfold's favorite soda. Oh, uh, Dragon, Dragon Dew. Only found in the lairs, the mightiest of beasts. Yeah, I'll go that one. That sounded quite cool. Oh, I do need to get that there. So select, add a new selection for that. Oh, no worries, America. Thank you for joining the stream, and I'll catch you next time. Ugh. Who have we got left in the stream? Either actually in the stream or lurking. Yeah, I figured as much, Ben. This video should be coming out in the next thingy, but we're probably going to be stopping after we get this to the in a little bit. Probably about another, literally another 15, 20 minutes, so just before this video comes out. Um, Reason being is uh, I am struggling a little bit, I'm not going to lie, but also this is nearly at the point of the final lighting phase, so I want to keep that separate afterwards. I'll see if we need more characters and add some in, and then schedule a future stream to finish this off. Isn't it Ben Horse or something I pop across this one? An airport marketable plushie. In fact, Owen, if I had the ability to do it, I'd probably do my narrators as plushies. I'd get them in a chibi style design with little gizmos and gadgets and make them done. But I am planning to do so like that Demonica illustration you can see in the corner of it. I'm planning to do all the narrators, all four. Well, there's five, but all four the main narrators as that illustration to start with, at that quality of detail. I'm not sure which one's going to be the most difficult one to do. So it will be interesting, but I am looking forward to it. I've done something different on this one. I've deliberately not done the color of the teeth. Uh, Basically, she's got black teeth. Okay, so we've got that. So the next thing to do is to add the hard light layer, is it I've been doing? Yeah, and the soft and the overlay layer. So the hard light layer is for the noise texture I've got. And this just adds a bit of a grit to the thing for the texture, and then I drop the opacity down a bit more. I am experimenting with this to try and find what I like more. I think my style's changing slightly um, over time with this, but we are nearly at the point of finishing this one illustration for now, and then picking the rest up a bit later on in the next stream or off stream, and I'll add some more to it. Hey, Galahan19, how's it going? It is looking quite cool at the moment. We are not far off. I've been going for about an hour 40. I did the stream earlier because I've come down full of cold or something at the moment, or allergies or whatever it is. So I wanted to actually be able to do this stream for you guys tonight. Um, Works out if anybody wants to watch Popcross because I'll be finished soon. But I'm literally just going to finish this one off. Uh, get this to the point where it's uh, lined up, and then I am probably going to add a couple Spider-Verse characters off screen and finish the illustration off. Maybe do the final bits on another one over time. But the general principle is if I start merging these down now, and you have to merge it from the bottom up, and you've got to make sure that you merge everything on a clipping layer to the solid layer before you merge two solid layers as well. I learned so much from that last illustration I did of Demonica that now if I turn that off, lock off, duplicate that layer because I always want to drop the layer into here to keep a copy of it, which is important because we need to keep it. And I can turn that layer on and I can bring down that layer up as well. I can literally going to be forwards a bit and overlapping the other one. That's why I kept them on separate layers in the other one. Not exactly redesigning my narrators. I'm just doing a high definition version of them. So that is basically the moniker, but the likes made her hair maybe a bit more blondie and fiery compared to the first one. Um, and that, but in essence, that is the moniker. I just changed her outfit. That's all. If you actually look back to my Demonica illustration, um, and then you look at this, so I'll actually show you now. So if we go back to the narrators, where I find them, the Monica was basically this design. So she already had the blonde in her hair, uh, the yellowy reddy eyes. Her lips weren't exactly black like I've got on the picture, but she had the collar with the green, obviously the kind of like the festy top bit and the rest of it. So that design for the Monica is actually very much in line with this one. It's just a much high-res version in a different outfit, which is quite cool. So I'm looking to do the four main narrators in this style over time, which would be quite cool. Yeah, but we'll see what happens with those. Those take a long time. I mean, that one took 14 hours to do, and it's still not finished. Um, the short that went out is not the finished version of the moniker. It's still got some final passes, some lights, and effects to do. It's probably about 80% done, but I wanted to do a short, so I used it. Um, If you're open to suggestions about your narrators, why not give the steampunk guy a French accent? I think it would suit the character. I'd have to learn a French accent for that one, so that is a possibility. I do need to work on my accents more. However, finding time to do it and when I'm not full of cold is going to be the priority at the moment. As it's been suggested earlier, though, I am looking into voice changes so that I can just change my voice to be more uh, kind of like more of a difference between the voices. Um, some voices you can do quite easily, other voices not so well. I think I'll drop her into here actually, so it's kind of like just filling that space a bit, kind of like that. Maybe more here. So I've got room for more characters, so I will be looking to off screen. I'll be putting a few more characters from the movie in. Most likely they're going to go here. 2 seconds, guys. Hey, Justin, welcome back. No, if it makes sense for Demonica to wear a tank top because of her wings. Yes, however, Demonica doesn't always have her wings out. Her wings can appear and disappear back, or she won't get around the Department of Multiversal Matters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. I could probably get another 6 characters in with this layout. Probably at least another 4, um, which I may do I may do. I don't really need something in this top space here, these spaces here. Four's not really relevant, so at the very least, I need three characters to go in here, and then I can drop a backdrop in behind it. So I will probably pick three characters from the movie. Uh, to see what's going on. Galahad 19, that is the plan. However, Monday is the multiverse story arc. Um, so that's got to be done. If that gets delayed from me being not 100% this weekend, which I'm hoping it doesn't, that'll drop in the week, and then the redraw may have to drop at the start of July, but it will be as close to the 30th as possible to get that done. The submission deadline is in about 2 hours, actually, on that one. Um, so we are getting there, but we'll sort that. Also, guys, top tip for Procreate: if you always save a copy of the layer, because I will show you this now. If you have any part of your character that goes off screen and you go to select it back, you lose it. Did you see that? You actually cuts it off, you lose it off the canvas. The only way to get it back is to undo. So that hand is effectively gone, which is why I've cloned each of these within the main body here. So I will not lose any of the actual full image, and it's quite large. I've cloned them into a locked file so I don't break them as such, and I can drop them in, so that's not too bad. But that's a top tip with Procreate. It somehow, it's not like Photoshop where it remembers it off the canvas behind the scenes. It does lose it, which it's a bit of a shame, but all in all, considering the program and what it can do compared to what it can't do, it's worth it. Um, Ben says you could try Spider-Man 2099 because he's already chased Miles Morales to keep him from saving his mom. I think. I don't know. I didn't watch the movie. Um, I've seen a few trailers and I know where they're going with the storyline on that one. I'm not going to do any spoilers, but basically, he has chased Miles. There is a reason for it. It's not quite that because that's more the Flash storyline, but it is something to do with it. Oh, I appreciate Minecraft. Yes, guys, if you haven't already, hit the like button. We're at 9 likes. If we can get to 10 before the end of the stream, great. It does help it get out there a bit more. I think we've probably spent a total of this artwork, um, about 13 hours on this. So this entire series of characters has taken the same amount, just under the same amount of time to do 6 characters as it did to do this one illustration. It just to compare notes on the times, uh, which is quite cool. Oh, awesome! I can only see 9 on my screen, but if there's 10 likes, brilliant. Thank you, everybody. Um, so what I'm going to do is it's just gone up to 10 o'clock. We're just under the 1 hour 50 mark. Has anybody got any questions before we end the stream? Uh, Mainly because that way it's thing. Oh, here we go. Just how many submissions do you normally get for your community reader episodes? I know you pick 5 or 6, but how many submissions in general? It varies depending on the theme. I usually get a handful of submissions. It can range anywhere between uh 3 to about 6 on email, depending on the theme. Some don't submit via email because of issues. They are given them an alternative way to submit for the redraw. I don't make that. I'm not giving that out to everybody. The reason is because they have tried like crazy, and we've had to do this as the alternative. There's technical issues involved, and on Discord it varies. I think there's usually about a good 7 or 8 normally on Discord. It's quite good. So I do get probably a handful, about 15, but I would like to have more people submitting to the redraws. So if I mean the redraw submission for this month's going to change, but for July, if anybody knows anyone who could be interested or they want to share the prompt out with the submission details, feel free to share it out, share the channel out. It would be nice to have a bit more variety in the redraws and more people doing it. Um, but yeah, Ben says I'm going to try. Are you going to try for July? Awesome, because that's going to be our 1 year special one. It's going to be a year since the redraw started, so I have something in mind for that.
on my little whiteboard up here, which you guys can't see. Bonus for the camera being off. Camera's mainly off because I look rough more than anything else. Justice says, I'm thinking about combining the Gmax Pokemon designs with their original base form designs. That's an interesting idea. Um, but yeah, for the redraws, this one is obviously SCP related, end of the month, so it will be coming out. I'm trying to trying to do the Friday, but if I can't get it finished by the Thursday, it may have to be the weekend or the following Monday. I will keep people posted in the community tab. Um, Unfortunately, I've started coming under the weather, and I'm hoping to hit this on the head with some rest. Hence the early stream. But other than that, it's a case of I need to get the multiverse story arc one out and then finish the redraw. Although I have started the redraw, it's not finished yet. But yeah, have we got any more questions on anything before I call it a night and we all go and enjoy our weekend? Oh, I may also reposition a few of the Spider-Man characters. Justice playing games. Venomized Spider-Verse characters 3 will be venomizing Cindy Moon Silk. 2 will be Spider-Girl, actual Spider-Girl, and 1 will be Penny Parker. Possible. I will probably pick one of those because well, actually 2 of those might get picked because one is definitely on the list and another one is I've toyed about the idea of doing that. So potentially Injustice Play Gaming. But on that note now, I think we're going to call it a night on the stream. Thank you everybody for joining. And if you just joined, I do apologize because I started the stream a little bit earlier, but you can always go back and watch it, which is the beauty of these lives and videos. And next week, we'll hopefully have 2 videos coming out. The Multiverse Story Arc on Monday, which is a continuation of a long-running series from the channel where we're venomizing all 5 of the Dinobots. And the Friday, with any luck, will be the community redraw, which is our SCP themed one. But on that note, I will say good night, guys. Catch you next time.